So,
Hey, Jim.
Hey, how you doing?
Yep.
Hey, Jim.
All right, so Magnus is just getting started.
Good.
Uh-oh, I hear an echo.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Is that echo coming from me?
Yeah, we didn't have it until you showed up.
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
Is this
All
any
right.
better?
Yep.
I think it's gone. Okay, perfect.
Okay, good.
So I hope you see my screen with Sigma on it.
Yep.
Good. Okay. So the first topic would be how to create a report from scratch, and let me show you how you can do that. And the reporting system, just as an overview, what happens is that you set up the report, and I'll show you how you set up some different modules with some different tweaks. And what it does is to export the required data, and then it has an engine, a report generator behind Sigma that is actually creating the PDF file based on that. I think in the future we'll probably have integration to Microsoft Word as well to create the reports directly into Word. But right now you can create PDF files. And I can tell you that I think the PDF generator is the most flexible thing in Sigma actually. But having said that, if you really want to tweak it all the way, you need to learn some PDF programming, so that might be a little difficult. But most of our users can figure out to set up a new report using just the UI here. So first of all, I'll make sure to show you that. And just interrupt me with any questions you have during this. All right, so I go to the report section here, and I click the report generator button. And you can see you can have 3 different kinds of reports. So standard reports would be the reports that we deliver out of the box together with system. Actually, this would be something that you could put in a special on-the-go Sigma version if you like to do that. But the intention of this is that we can actually, when we send out a new update of Sigma, we can actually override these reports to bring in new reports to end users. The 2 other sections, shared reports and my reports, are just for user configured reports, maybe something that will help on a per client base. Shared reports would probably be something if like multiple users in the company, you place it there, or maybe a specific estimator would like to create his own report. So that's just the overview of that. When you want to create a new report, you just click the new button here. You can give it a report name. And did you have something specific in mind when you were thinking of a report, or just in general reporting?
One I'd like to do is, I don't know if you have any of your estimates that have a cost code in it, but we'd want to export, by cost code, the labor and material budgets.
Okay. Not sure I have a cost code, but I know what you mean, and I'll do something similar actually.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, we'll just call it report 1 for now. So that's the general section, and you can put a description to remember whatever it is. The important thing is what goes into the contents of the report. So I'll be working with that, but just as an overview, so the settings here, of course, something like the letter format and fonts and stuff like that. The header footer, you can either choose from some predefined stuff here, or you can create a user-defined header. And this is where it gets a little hairy about, you can put in some code here if you like something specific. And, we can help you with all that stuff if you need to just create a standard report you'd like to bring out to your clients. The advanced stuff, again, is some initialization scripts you can use to really make it advanced, but let's cover that in another session maybe. I'll jump back to contents. This is the most important one. So first of all, what you can do is you can add as many report modules as you like, and these are like chapters in a book. So when you click add, you could put in like, let's say we want to put in a front page first. What happens is that now I put in a front page module, you can see it right here. And it has some options you can set. So first of all, the name of this one, the title of the report, description of it, whether it should insert a table of contents, and you have some layout options like putting the page break after this one, insert the description that you saw here. So let's just put in here, this could be report based on cost codes, for example. And so this is something we'd love to play around with and see how it works, of course. what you can see here is this is where it gets like a little programmatic. If you want to really tweak it, is that we have a style sheet here, which is actually configuring a lot of the stuff that's going on behind. So if you really want to, do tweak the margins, change anything, this is the XSL file you want to edit. But again, that would probably be something we should cover in another session. So okay, so first of all, sorry.
So, the XSL, I'm not familiar with that extension. Is that an Excel file?
No, it's you're probably familiar with XML files.
Okay.
And XML files, you can transform XML files using XSL. It's a standard on internet stuff, and it's really powerful feature because you can take one format and convert it into another format. In this case, we use it to convert it into the language that the PDF generator uses. But again, we set up some standard XSL files which works with our modules here, so you don't have to tweak anything. But I'm just letting you know that if you find there are any limits here and you really want to do something else that you cannot do out of the box, I can more or less promise you that everything can be tweaked. Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard of XLS.
Okay, great. So far we have a front page. We'd love to add some more stuff. And you can see you have a lot of different stuff here. First of all, you could put in this one called just text image module. Is very basic. I'll just show that one first. So you can put in here like page on the first page we like I have to forget it. New version. On this page we like some introduction. Just like that. So this page, you can put in an image if you like, or you can just say this is just a text file. I'm not sure I have a good image here. We can probably find something. Pictures, there we are. This one is great. Okay, so that's quite basic. I think I'll actually show you right now how this works, and then open it back up and add a module to do the cost code stuff. So I close this one. Now you see I have my report one here. I can run it directly from here, or I can close this report generator dialog, and then you can see I have it now in my reports here. So this is how it works, and to create a good report, I can show you how you can put it in a signal distribution so that you can send out a link to clients which include some specific reports and tools that you set up already. But let's get back to that once you have.
Can I interrupt a second?
Sure.
Are you guys having a difficult time understanding what he's saying is me?
There's kind of an echo.
The audio is pretty poor.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe I should try and dial in again. Actually, I usually have no problems using the voice over IP on GoToMeeting.
Yeah, normally you could choose audio from within the panel, but it wasn't on mine either, so I had to call in as well.
Okay, that's fine. So let me try and dial in again and see if that helps, okay?
Okay. Yeah, it was a little fuzzy.
Yeah, it was kind of a little echoey or something. Now, he has a way of going in there and grabbing individual fields and organizing them. Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, so what he's going to do next is, what I want to do is, in the long run here, Tom, is I want to be able to build some export reports that says, hey, here's my items, here's my budget, set up total by Costco, so we can import them right into Sage 100.
Right.
Or a list of suppliers so we can create subcontracts or whatever, that kind of thing. I mean, if we can integrate it to 100, we got it made.
Yeah, I didn't see that what he did there in terms of how you have access to the data fields. I want to.
No, he said he's going to do that. As soon as he shows us, he's going to jump into that.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I mean, the cover page is just nice, sweet stuff.
Hey guys, I'm back. I hope it's better now.
No.
Yep. No, really, that's okay with me.
Yeah, I'm just watching. I'm just watching. Yeah, normally though,
okay.
you can either do call in, or you can open the panel and you can just pick right through. But it's not it didn't do that. But we're fine.
No, it's strange.
We're good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hope the recording will be good. Okay. So should I go back and show some of the stuff I did again, or just continue? I'll just try and continue here. So, okay. Well, it won't really let me. It's like there's something in front of my signal here. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm not sure. It's like the GoToMeeting did something to my screen. That's strange. Yep, there we are. Okay. So I have my report here. I'll just run it right now and see what happens. So this is just what the user would see, of course. Right, so I got my front page, report title, report based on cost codes. I'm not sure if you see this, but I have my table of contents here. Not that interesting, but that's what it is. And the first page, on the first page, like introduction tip and this nice picture of a crane. So this is just the modules that I set up, and this is how we go forward, basically, with the stuff. So far, do you have any questions for this?
I'm good.
Okay, great. So let me go to the next here to put some content from the estimate into the report. I take my report here and I say modify. So now I want to add some more modules here. So first of all, I'll open this module one again. And just as a basic overview here, some of the things resembles what you also see in Sigma, like the key figures page. We have like the summary page, so this is where you can see this. The summary page is typically what you would send out in a bid, so this is where you see the sales prices, for example, and stuff like that. But what you were asking for about the cost codes, that would be similar to the insight page. So I'll insert an insight, and I say estimate on cost codes. And in this one, I can do some configuration. Say, so I want the entire project of just whatever I selected in my calculation estimation tree, because that way you can actually just print out parts of your estimation. Then you can configure the layout of this one, and to do this, you need to just have a basic understanding of how the insight works. But again, this is one-time configuration, so if you have any trouble, we'll just help you do that. Not sure how much you've played around with the insight page in Sigma, but I'll show you how it works. This is where you would add and say, I want my cost code first. I don't have a cost code in this project, so I'll just pick something else. I'll say, I want to divide it first into the phase of the project, and then maybe the category, and then maybe category again, but this time to 5 to 6. And if you like, we can, have a similar talk about how to set up the insight pages in Sigma, but this is what it is really. Then you can choose which columns you want to go into the report. So let's say maybe in this case, the number, the unit, quantity, whatever. So you can just pick some columns here and say I want that for my labels. I know this is a bit fast. We can open this one up again. Just first give you an overview and then maybe go into the details. That's it. I've put in this module now, and let's see how that works. Since I haven't prepared this demo, I'm also a little excited. So we have the first page, and then here. So this is what goes now. This was divided into phases. This is phase 1, 2, 3. Let me show you in Sigma what I'm talking about here. So this production building example, which comes with Sigma, you can take a look at that. And inside, if you look at phases, you can see the same stuff here, different phases of the project. So I would actually like to have some more details in it. I'll go back to the report generator, open this one, modify it. This was the module that put in, and look at the configuration. I think my problem was I wanted to, I would like to expand it to some more levels, like that, 3 levels. Let's try again. Yeah. So now you see this. So instead of 1 and 2 here, this could be your cost codes. So you could say, I want to divide it by cost codes, maybe that's it. Maybe one cost codes and then subdivide it into stuff like labor, equipment stuff. So you can do all the things that you used to do in Sigma's inside view. And again, if you work with that, you can see the same way of setting up stuff here. If you work with that, it's quite easy to redo the same method in the report layouts. So my question right now is this what you were asking for?
So
Yeah,
now
that's
can
what I was looking for,
you yeah,
ahead, Tom.
I was just going to say, so can you accumulate by any one of those? I see those there. So if it had hours, it would put it there. I see. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see, for example, for labor here, it would count all the labor hours here.
I see. Overline total.
Yeah. So it's all the powerful features of the inside that can be used as a reporting module. And again, this can be tweaked. The UI that I showed you right now with the report generator, you can do a lot of stuff with that. But if you come to any kind of limit and you say if you really wanted to do something else, I'm sure you can figure out how to do that. And again,
so can you insert special characters into that report if it were an export?
What kind of special characters are you thinking?
I don't know, I'm just thinking like, a comma delimited ASCII, how they do that. They put them in quotations and a comma to separate fields.
Yeah, so this is intended for the PDF only. But I'll show you now how to export it if you want to bring it into another system. I guess that's what your intention is. Is that right? Okay, so first of all, you can set up, if you look at the inside here, again, you could set up exactly the same inside to say, okay, this is what I want to go into another system. Any kind of inside that you set up here, something you can export directly to Excel, say just from current page here, and we'll go into Excel. I'm just showing different options here how to export the stuff from Sigma. So this will be the first way of doing it, and it will come up in Excel, and you can see right here. Like that. So you get it directly into Excel with the same format and same structure. That's one way of exporting them. You can do a lot of stuff from there, of course. Another way of exporting this stuff would be to go to the Tools section. And this is interesting, I think, for integrating into other systems quite easy. So here we have something called Toolbox, and you can configure a tool. And again, this is something you could bring into a Sigma distribution that you have. So if you want your clients to have a standard tool that integrates with some of the other systems, you could put it directly in there. What you can do in the Toolbox is a little similar to the reporting stuff. So we add another tool here, and what you use in this case is what we call the resource export. I'm not sure that's a good and descriptive name, but that's what it's called. But it's exporting the resources of the project. Anyway, let me show you how it works. Again, we have some settings. You could call it export to system export set. And in my settings section, again, I'm using the same configurator here. I can add, say again, I want to divide it by postcode and other stuff. I'm just using my example from before. Okay. We want to add columns here. And again, you can bring out any kind of information, save price, cost price, whatever. Okay. Then what you can do is say, I want this to be exported into an XML file based in, let's say, here. And you can actually specify an executable file that should be launched. So let's, for example, say Internet Store, and you can specify that I wanted to use the file name from up here as a parameter to Internet Store to show this one. And what you could also do is to specify an XSL file, and that's what we mentioned before. What you can do with this one is to actually transform the XML directly into a comma-separated file or whatever you need. So if you have some specific needs or formats for the receiving system, this is where we can actually do the transformation that we have to help bring it from our XML format into any other kind of format. But once that's done, you just figure out, point out the file right here, and we do that. So to show how this works, and we can maybe go back and take some questions on that. So first of all, down here. So see, this is what your client would see in Sigma, is that you now have an export system button here. Actually, what you can also do is, I think we talked about this before, but these pages here, you can actually put a button in here and actually call this command, so you can, make a real nice UI called CFO on the go, and then create a button right here and stuff. So just to mention it. Anyway, I click this button, and you can see what happens is that it launches Internet Explorer because we wanted to do that. It's showing this XML output file, and what you can see here is that I get a lot of different stuff. And this is quite interesting. Roof construction, walls. So this is XML format divided into the same groups. So for example, you mentioned can receive the total of the hours. If I look enough, I would probably find that line somewhere here with hours and stuff. XML is not easily readable by humans, I know that, but this is very good for importing into our systems. But again, if you like this to be in comma-separated format, whatever, we can easily transform it into that. So that was a short demo of how to export stuff in different ways. If these some of the thoughts that you have, and what questions do you have for this?
Yeah, so, hey, Magnus, I thought of something else. Tom, I wanted you to hear this part because I think it'll be important to you. Magnus, last week you covered the ability to, if we were to build a database, to be able to password protect that or to protect that, correct?
Yeah.
Tom has built a lot of databases, and so I'm going to try and convince Tom at some point here to take some of his databases and convert them over to Sigma. And I think he needs to feel comfortable that, if we start selling these, that he knows they won't get copied. So can you kind of go over just, at a high level how one of his databases could be protected so they can't be spread around?
Absolutely, and I certainly understand the, the need for comfort in that. So let me tell you what we do is, when you create a Sigma database, it's a Sigma library. And what we can help you with is to put it in, first of all, you can save it in a binary format, and we'll help you on how to do that. So the binary format, if you look into that with any kind of editor, you wouldn't understand at all what's going on. That's a good thing. It's not a format that we are documenting to anyone. The other thing is that we put in a code and say this is from a specific vendor, and you get your own vendor ID. And let me show you, that's what we've done with our Smooth databases, for example, and a couple of other databases around the world. And they have exactly the same requirements, of course, that, for example, RSMeans, we had to make to ensure them that their data could not be copied from Sigma. So what happens is that you create a database, you put it again in a Sigma package. You can either put it in your standard Sigma distribution, or it could be an add-on to Sigma. So customers that buy this database can just install it and install Sigma. That's what we do with the RSMeans. You can put in a sample database, and just give them a teaser like we have with the RSMeans databases here. So,
and that's how you would switch between databases, just by clicking on the buttons there?
Yeah, exactly. So here, now I only have the sample data files installed actually, but if I ran the RSMeans installer, it would install all the real books in here, and I could just, select that as well. Yeah, no, I don't have them. But this one actually is also protected. So what happens is that once the user clicks one, you will actually go to our server and ask permission to open this one. Now I'm set up as a special kind of user that can just open it. So that would be a bad example. Maybe I can find other one. Danish catalogs. So these are Sigma libraries, for example. If I'm taking a Sigma library basic file and want to open it in Sigma, it should. Let's get it. I have a caching mechanism. It should pop up for a username and password, of course, and it will validate on our server if this user has a credential to actually open the database. The reason it's opens with me because I'm doing a lot of demos. This is not something I typically don't demo. I just open the database, But what we could do is set up so you can actually configure which clients you want to allow. You can assign the username and passwords and everything, and have a complete control doing that. And again, the best comfort I can give you is that RSMeans and anyone else who is working with these large databases heavily accepted the system we have. So, yeah, does this answer the question to it, or?
No, but Tom. So hang on a second. So I think I read that we can also not only import line levels, like I could bring in a line that says supervision, with a part number and a cost code and a cost or whatever in units. But there's also a way to to import a finished assembly as well by bringing in different levels. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. So if you look at the RSMeans sample here,
Tom has some really good assemblies in his. So if we can bring in a base parts and also bring in a half a dozen or a dozen assemblies into a base one, I think it's going to be able to sell that for a lot less than the RSMeans, but have like a GC be able to come up and run it on this thing, within a couple of days.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree on that, and we would be very happy about that. I can tell you because for GCs, we think they're looking for something else than RSMeans, and they also think that RSMeans is a bit pricey for some of the stuff. So we'd be happy to help you resell that stuff actually. And you can see RSMeans here, they both have a unit price databases and the single databases, and the single databases here you can see this root partition wall, so it's subdivided into some other activities, again subdivided into some resources. So typically you just bring in this assembly into your estimate and just configure whatever square feet or whatever the ratio would be in those ones. And I can't recall if you saw the demo on scripted assemblies, because that's something down the road we could look at as well, because then you can create some smart assemblies, as we call it, which can ask you just 5 questions and really configure this assembly. So a lot of stuff we can do in that.
Yeah, so hang on, Megan. So when you look at that video I just sent you a little while ago, they have the same ability by writing scripts to do exactly what we do in extended and standard, where you come up to an item that says, and you'll see in the video, it says tile, and you can say, okay, it'll pop up a button, and it'll say, is it 12 by 12, 8 by 8, 6 by 6, 4 by 4, right? You just click it, and it'll then price the price of that tile, and then you can have another pop-up box that says, what color do you want this tile to be? White, red, blue, silver, whatever.
Right.
And those pop-up boxes actually work better than they do in Extended because you don't have to type in a code. You actually just click it. But the same ability to pull up those pop-up boxes is available in here as well.
Exactly, and you can create that and can resell it, and when users just open the database, type the username and password, and start using it, it will pop up and ask the questions that you defined and do whatever you define. And in the video, you can see at least it's only scratching the surface, of course, but you can see how easy it is to build such a user-based interface, and we'll make sure to learn how to use the scripting system doing that. So, yeah, I really hope you would use Sigma as a platform to bring something on top of it that would certainly be something that we'd be supporting. So if you want to set up some sessions to talk about the strategy of it, and we can create a small example file, we can see how it works, we can add the password mechanism, and we can see how it works. We'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, the next thing I think, excuse me, Tom, is this, maybe you and Magnus can just sit down, I don't think or Jim initially has to be on the call, maybe showing him one of your databases, how it's structured and what have you, and I'm talking about a Sage 100 style one, not a Timberline one, but showing how that's constructed and having him give you kind of some insight on what it will take to get that configured and imported into something that Sigma could use. But I mean, you've already got all the work done. I mean, you already have the assemblies done. You already have the parts and database. The database is there. It's how easy is it? Can we take that, convert it to a Sigma database that we can use to sell for ourselves, but even potentially Sigma to be able to offer quote unquote entry level, something rather than because as you know, the RS means they're in the $1,000 plus type thing, where maybe this thing sells for $400 or $500, but it's a basic GC, and maybe you have a basic remodel, and maybe a basic. I know you've been doing a lot of landscape work, but taking that landscape one you've been working on and convert that into a simplified Sigma one that we could have a one for landscapers as well.
Right. Yeah. So how do you? I mean, I'm only catching a word here and there with Magnus because of the connection. But so how would you? Yeah,
I think if you're on by, I think if you were on by, I'm okay because I'm the primary. I think. I think if it was just you and him, I think it'd be a lot better. Or I mean, if you have Skype, I mean, you guys could actually Skype as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm using Skype to listen for this call. But so how would you write a formula like if I said I wanted the square foot of the gypsum wall based on the length of the wall times the height or something like that? How do you do that?
So, yeah.
That's an assembly, right? This is
that's
a small.
That's true. So what you would basically do is to use our scripting system, and it will take you an hour or two, maybe 3, to learn the basics of that. But once you learn it, it will be much more powerful than just basic formulas, because you can do some if then else conditions and all that kind of stuff. And then if you should make sure to send that video, because I think it shows some of the stuff. But I can show you here just an example also. Let's see if I can find that. Look at that one. So, for example, this one is just basic hours means assembly I took, and I modified it a little. What I did was to add some scaffolding system, because that's not included in the assembly. And you can see right now in this assembly, which is just a concrete block partition wall, there's no scaffolding used. It's a quantity 0. But what happens is when I run this one, I can say, so what's the height? I say 10 feet, length maybe 30/20, whatever. The distance between the rebars, I'm not good at building, so I'll just put in some numbers here, control joint spacing, stuff like that. And based on that, it will tweak the numbers here. For example, because you put in a frame system scaffold because it's a high wall. If I change it to be just a little lower, maybe 7, now it has a modular scaffold instead. And you can do all kinds of stuff. You can, like the control joints here, for example, tweak the quantity based on the interest you have here. So this is a very basic one. I wish that had the other one, but then if you send the video, it will show how you can create these pop-ups and stuff. But it's quite a simple scripting system, so you don't need to be a programmer. It doesn't hurt, of course, to be, but I'll show you here. It's just basically, this is all it takes to create this pop-up picture and ask about the height, the length, and distance. So if you see some examples, you'll figure out how to use it very, very easily.
Mm-hmm.
And
all syntax, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the good thing about this is that when you bring it out to a user, they cannot, ruin it in any way because they don't have any formulas they can ruin anything. They just, put it into the internet, it will pop up and ask them a few questions. You can have different images based on the input fields here, for example, and stuff like that. So you can do a lot of stuff. So what we could do, depending on the format you already have your databases in, but if it's some kind of structured readable format, it could probably help you convert it into Sigma library. And then maybe you can put some scripting on it. Maybe we do that in version 2, whatever, but there's no need to retype everything in Sigma. We can help you convert it into Sigma format. So I hope that gave you just, at least an idea of how you can do a database in Sigma. And again, I think it's a great idea to have a one-to-one session in this and create some examples of things together.
Yeah, I think, Tom, I'll send you Magnus's email, but I think, maybe a half-hour session where he can see what your database, because he hasn't seen, obviously, the Timberline estimate. If he can see how our database is kind of formatted, how easy that would be to bring in, and then showing him some basic assemblies. But I think they can bring the basic assemblies in, where they just enter the quantities, and then we can always add the pop-up boxes later, or that's just a customization for the client. Say, hey, you got the database at a low price. Now, if you want those pop-ups, that's on an hourly basis, and we can start adding those for people.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
But, I mean, have something. Well, my concern is, because I'm the sales guy, it's great to sell something, but people will kind of want to start using it right away. And if you tell them that, well, you got to kind of import your parts or that, but if we can just hand them a database, and I'm just picking a number at random here, let's say 450 parts, like a GC, supervision, trailer rental, temporary utilities, all of your subcontract trades where they can just say take subcontract prices as a lump sum or an allowance. If you had something like that, they can start using that right away as a GC. They'll see value where, hey, it's $80 a month, but for $300, $400, $500, I got a database. I could literally start bidding more, in the next day or two. And I think that'll have true value in the long run.
Yeah, I certainly agree.
And limited risk. I mean, instead of having to lay out the money for an RS means, which I'm not a big believer in RS means. I mean, it starts you out with some stuff, but sometimes it's a little too complicated, and some people think their prices are gospel, and they're not. So, but Tom, I think your databases, I think every session, I think they can easily be converted over into this format, so we can start using those right away.
Yeah. Why don't you send me Magnus's email, and then I'll shoot him because I'll be in my office. I have to leave later on, but I mean later on this week we could get together.
Okay.
Sounds good. Would work.
All right, and if you do a go-to-meeting, just go ahead and hit the record so we all have a copy of it.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay. All right, guys. All right, I think I'm in overload. I think everybody probably else is, Magnus. So I've got this recorded. I'll send everybody out the video. We can watch it. I like to go try it after I learn it, and that's what I think we'll do next.
Sounds good, Dan. Sounds good. Okay.
All right, well, I appreciate it. And Tom, I'll
Thank you.
catch up with you maybe. You can give me a call in the office. I'll be here all the rest of the day.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Talk to you later. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.